We think we've got a pretty good handle on our own history, right? But what if the story we've been told is missing a few really crucial chapters? I mean, what if there are secrets buried deep beneath the earth, just waiting for the right moment to rewrite everything we thought we knew?
So, from the deepest ice on the coldest continent to the sun-scorched sands of the oldest desert, we're going to journey through 5 mysteries that, well, they just defy any easy answers, and they challenge the very foundations of our past.
Okay, so our first stop, the bottom of the world, Antarctica. I mean, this is a continent just entombed in ice, over a mile deep in places. Mainstream science, they tell us no ancient civilization could have ever survived here. But what if they're wrong?
And then, get this, in 2016, satellite images revealed something that should be totally impossible. Sticking out of the ice were these massive, perfect pyramids. And we're talking about structures so enormous they would literally dwarf even the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Now, of course, geologists are quick to say, oh, those are just natural rock formations. But ancient Polynesian legends, they tell a very different story. A story of an ancestral home, a land of white rocks and penguins, a place that sounds exactly like a prehistoric, ice-free Antarctica, doesn't it?
And if that wasn't enough, a 2017 discovery gave those ancient tales some chilling credibility. Seafloor drills pulled up core samples that proved Antarctica wasn't always this frozen wasteland. No, it was once a temperate rainforest, just teeming with life. Totally different from what we see today.
So, if there's a lost civilization hiding in the ice, it makes you wonder, what secrets are buried in the sand? For our next mystery, we're heading to Egypt to stare into the enigmatic gaze of the Great Sphinx.
All right, the official story, the one we all learned in school, is that the Sphinx was built around 2500 BC. But the stone itself, it tells a totally different story, a much, much older one. We're talking about something that could potentially push its origin back thousands and thousands of years, all the way to the end of the last ice age.
And believe it or not, there's even written proof. There's this ancient record called the Inventory Stele, and it describes the pharaoh Khufu, who, by the way, reigned before the guy who supposedly built it, and it says he was just repairing the Sphinx. Think about that. That means it was already ancient even back then.
And this is where the physical evidence gets really wild. The rest of the Giza Plateau, it shows the kind of wind and sand erosion you'd expect in a desert. But the body of the Sphinx? Nope. It has deep weathering caused by heavy, prolonged rainfall. That suggests it was carved long, long before the Sahara even was a desert.
Not all hidden histories are carved in stone. Sometimes, they're imbued in objects. So our next stop isn't some ancient ruin. It's a quiet suburban home in Ohio that happens to house a collection so dangerous it has to be kept under lock and key.
Yeah, get too close to these things and your body just reacts. Visitors have reported these terrifying physical symptoms. We're talking heart palpitations, a feeling of crushing anxiety. Some people even just collapse on the spot, for no logical reason at all.
And at the absolute heart of this collection is an object they call the Crone. It's this wooden figure that was found in a dark cave, bound up with a noose and pierced with iron nails. The story goes, one man insisted on seeing it and was immediately struck by a violent seizure, had to be rushed away by paramedics, just like that.
So, to try and neutralize its power, the caretakers actually took the crone back to the very woods where it was first found. They performed this ritual, and as they pulled the final nail free, they said they felt this strange, electric pop in the air, like a release. And in that exact same moment, every single coyote on the mountain just started to howl.
Okay, let's shift gears. For thousands of years, the story of Sodom and Gomorrah's destruction has been treated as just that, a story, a biblical metaphor for divine punishment. But what if it wasn't a metaphor at all? What if it was a literal eyewitness account of a real-life cataclysm?
Well, at a site called Tal el-Hammam, which, get this, is located exactly where the Bible says Sodom once stood, archaeologists have found some pretty shocking proof. Not of divine wrath, but of total, utter destruction from the heavens.
The evidence on the ground is it's overwhelming. You've got building materials that were flash melted, pottery that was instantly turned to glass. They even found elements there that are usually only found in asteroids. And to top it all off, a thick layer of salt coating everything, blasted in from the nearby Dead Sea.
So what was the culprit? A meteor airburst. Basically an asteroid that exploded high up in the atmosphere with just unimaginable force. It sent this superheated blast wave, the fire from the heavens, that completely incinerated the city, vaporized part of the Dead Sea, and rained salt down on the ruins.
And suddenly, this one single scientific event provides a chillingly literal explanation for one of the Bible's most famous and haunting warnings.
All right, for our final mystery, let's travel to a city literally frozen in time. We're going to Pompeii, because under all that ash from Mount Vesuvius, there's a lost library that could hold the key to one of the most significant moments in all of human history.
See, buried deep inside a lavish Roman villa, there's a library of 1,800 scrolls, but they were completely carbonized into these blackened lumps by the eruption. For 2,000 years, they've been impossible to open without just destroying them. Well, until now.
Scientists are now using this revolutionary technology called virtual unwrapping, and it's letting them see inside these scrolls for the first time. Powerful X-rays scan the charred lumps, and then an advanced AI builds a 3D model. It digitally unrolls the fragile text, revealing its secrets without ever having to physically touch it. It's incredible.
And the amazing thing is, it actually works. They've already uncovered lost works of philosophy, including ancient Greek texts that were describing atomic theory. I mean, think about that. A revolutionary idea rediscovered 2,000 years later.
But that's not even the ultimate prize. Here's why this is so huge. This villa was buried just a few decades after the crucifixion of Jesus. That means this library could contain the earliest Christian records ever found. Maybe even original handwritten letters from the Apostle Paul himself. Now that is a discovery that wouldn't just rewrite history, it would change the entire world forever.